What is up, Algebra 2? This is lesson 4.9, and we're working with graphing quadratic inequalities. And before we get to quadratic inequalities, please remember graphing linear inequalities when we're working with lines. So if we look at this blue one here, like y is greater than x plus 1, because it just said greater than, remember we did a dashed line right here, and we just graph that line but with dashed because it said greater than, and then we had to shade above that, so everything up here is shaded in blue. It kind of shaded in red after that. So everything above this line, because this y is greater than the line, so any point up here in this half plane would make this equation true. Likewise, here with this red one, we used a solid line because it was less than or equal to, meaning the points on this line would make this equation true, as well as everything below it. That's why it's shaded down here. So just remember those principles as we move on to graphing quadratics. So this is number 3. This is actually off of your homework, and I'm pretty sure I only gave you like 10, so I'm like doing 10% of your homework right here. So remember, first of all, this is in vertex form, and so we know our vertex is going to be at the point where x is 4, remember the opposite of this number, and then this number is the y. So this is going to be my vertex at 4, 3. So 4, 3, I'm going to go ahead and graph that, which also means I'm going to have an axis of symmetry right here through this point. And then I know it's going to be opening down because my a is less than 0. A is being that number right there in front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a point, maybe on either side of that. I'm going to try 3. So I'm going to say, I'm just trying to graph this, so I'm going to say negative 3 minus 4 squared plus 3. That's going to be 1 squared, so it's going to be negative 1 plus 3, which is going to give me 2. So I have the point, whenever I plugged in 3 for x, I got out 2 for y. So 3, 2. Which means I have that point. Also, if I follow my pattern, if I go left 2, it's going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have that point and that point. And the next one's not going to be on there, so it's going to be something that follows that. Now, the only thing that's changed now is I'm going to use a dotted line versus a solid line because it just says greater than. So I'm going to do something like this. Now I've got to figure out, am I going to be graphing above this or below this? The thing about the y is greater than that line. And so really, we have two different areas. We have this area, we could say kind of inside of this, or the area outside of this. Now, an easy way to test is to plug in the point 0, 0. As long as it's not on the line, you can use that point. So I'm going to plug in 0, 0 into this. If it comes out to be true, then I'm going to shade on this side that includes that. If it comes out to be false, then I'm going to shade inside. So here we go. Is 0, is 0 greater than negative 0 minus 4 squared plus 3? So I'm trying to find out, is this true or not? And this is supposed to be 0. Is 0 greater than, let's see, that would be a negative 16 plus 3. Is 0 greater than a negative 13? That comes out to be a true statement. So then, yes, indeed, I'm going to want to shade everything outside of this. Like so. Still same idea here. I'm going to graph this one. This one's not in vertex form. This is just in standard form. So then I'm remembering I need to find the x-coordinate, or the axis of symmetry, is the equation x is equal to negative b over 2a, if you remember that back from graphing quadratics. So in this case, that's going to be 8, because my b is a negative 8, so negative 8 is positive 8, over 2 times a, which is 1. So this just comes out to be 4. So I have this equation, x equals 4. So this is my axis of symmetry here. Now I'm going to use that equation and find some other points. I'm going to particularly find the vertex. So I'm going to find out what is y equal to whenever I plug in 4 for x. Minus 8 times 4 plus 18. 16 minus 32 plus 18. It's going to be negative 16 plus 18, which is going to give me, what is that? Positive 2. So I have this point, right here's my vertex. Now let's find another one. So I have this point 4, 2. I plugged in 4, and I got out 2. So let's come up with another point, maybe with 3 in it. So what is y equal to? It's going to be 3 squared minus 8 times 3 plus 18. 9 minus 24 plus 18. That's going to be negative 15 plus 18, which gives me 3. So I have the point 3, 3 reflected here. Seems like it's following my pattern here, so I can go left 2 up 4. This one. Again, I'm going to do a solid line here. Or this time I'm going to do a solid line because it's an or equal to. Good easy way to check this then is to plug in 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 0 squared minus 8 times 0 plus 18? So this is 0, that's 0. So is 0 less than or equal to 18? Yes, it comes out to be a true statement. So then I'm going to want to shade on the point that includes that point, on the side that wants to include that. So it's going to be everything out here. Alright, I have literally done 20% of your homework. And it's a worksheet, so you've already gotten that. And if you have any questions, feel free to watch this again, or text me or ask me. Good luck, guys.